Good morning, my dear young minds. Welcome back to biology session. How are you all? Today we are going to start short-term coaching crash course for second PUC, and heartily welcome to biological science class. Today our target two lessons: the living world and biological classification. First chapter, the living world. The living world. This is simple chapter. We are expecting only one question from this chapter. Okay, in 2020 NEET exam, even single question is not asked, but in earlier NEET object exams, at least one question frequently asking from this area. Okay, one example, in 2019 one question asked from this chapter, that is, what is the scientific name of Mangifera indica? Okay, what is the scientific name of mango? Scientific name Mangifera indica. Mangifera is genus, indica is species. You know very well how to write scientific name while writing. Okay, so these types of questions frequently asking from the living world. From this chapter, main concepts I have to cover. There are some terminology: growth, reproduction, consciousness, unconsciousness, that means self-consciousness, cellular organization, metabolism. There are some terminology, out of which, and growth and reproduction. Growth, reproduction, and self-consciousness. Growth, reproduction, and self-consciousness. These three are non-defining properties of living organisms. That you know very well. And what are the defining properties of living organisms? Metabolism, consciousness, and cellular organization. Etc. These three are defining properties of living organisms. We are expecting at least one question from this area, very important. Once I repeat, growth, reproduction, and self-consciousness are non-defining properties of living organisms, while metabolism, consciousness, and cellular organization are defining features of living organisms, defining properties of living organisms. Okay, next one more main point. What are the basic steps of taxonomy? CICN. C means characterization. I means identification. Okay, C means classification. N means nomenclature. These are the basics of taxonomy. Important. We are covering here almost all important points that are important for NEET object exam. Okay, once I repeat, what are the basics of taxonomy? Small code CICN, one small code. C for characterization, I for identification, C for classification, and N for nomenclature. But you don't confuse between first C and second C. Sometimes question paper setter prepare questions based on this concept. Understood now? Next, taxonomical categories. That means taxonomic hierarchy. There are different steps in taxonomic hierarchy, namely species, genus, family, class, order, phylum or division, and kingdom. You must remember all 7 steps in order, don't forget. In ascending order or descending order. Question paper setter prepare questions from any direction. Species. First, what is species? A group of closely related organisms are known as species. Genus means a group of closely related species collectively grouped under same category or same taxa called genus. Next, family. Family means a group of closely related organisms collectively grouped under same family. Next, order. That means a group of closely related families collectively grouped under same order. Similarly, order to class, class to phylum or division. The term phylum belongs to animals and the term division belongs to plants. There you don't confuse. Clear? Next, a group of closely related phylum or division collectively grouped under same kingdom. That is called plant kingdom or animal kingdom. You must remember all 7 steps of taxonomic hierarchy. When we go from species to kingdom, interactions or relationship between organisms gradually decrease. And when we move from kingdom to species in descending order, that means similarities between organisms gradually increase. Okay, so these types of questions frequently asking in NEET object exam. Once repeat briefly. When you move from species to kingdom, relationship between organisms gradually decrease. On the other hand, if you move from kingdom to species in descending order, association between organisms and interaction between organisms gradually increase. That's all. Clear? Next concept, taxonomical aids. Taxonomical aids. So what is aid? Aid means helpers. Aid in the sense helpers. Taxonomical aids also called taxonomical helpers. Clear? There are different types of taxonomical helpers, namely herbarium, okay, botanical gardens, zoological parks, museum, key, couplet, catalog, flora, monographs. These and all various types of taxonomical aids. You must remember all terminology and read these areas. Very important for NEET object exam. First, herbarium. Herbarium. What is herbarium? It is a brown color thick sheet that contains dried, pressed and preserved. Dried, pressed and preserved plant pot fixed on the surface of the herbarium. It is a paper, brown color sheet, more thick in size. Herbarium contains complete information regarding plant. That means what is the scientific name of the plant, genus name, species name, family, class, order, everything. Include even a person who collected that plant, that particular person name also clearly mentioned on the surface of the herbarium. Okay, so herbariums are used for quick revision and quick identification of plant species. Next, botanical gardens. Botanical gardens. Botanical gardens are live taxonomical aids. Live means living taxonomical aids for identification of plants based on their size, shape, structure, length, width, etc. There are many botanical gardens all over India. Which is the biggest botanical garden means Kew. KWQ, England. Similarly, in India there are many botanical gardens. ICBN stands for International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. ICZN stands for International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. So these abbreviations, their full forms also important. You must concentrate on this area, don't forget. Clear? Next, zoological parks. Zoological parks. Like botanical gardens, zoological parks also live examples of identification of animals based on their locations, size, habitats, etc. Okay, by seeing itself, we ourselves easily identify what is the name of the animal. Suppose elephant, giraffe, zebra, lion, tiger, etc. So both botanical gardens and zoological parks are live taxonomical aids for identification of organisms. Clear? Next, key. What is key? Key also another type of taxonomical aid which helps for the identification of plants or animals based on their similarities or dissimilarities. Based on their similarities and dissimilarities. That is called key. Next, couplet. Couplet. What is couplet? Couplet also another type of taxonomical aid that contain contrasting characters. Contrasting means two opposite characters. One is useful character, other one is useless character. But we select only useful character and reject useless character. Couplet also a part of key. A part of key. So couplet also acts as taxonomical aid. Next to lead. Lead. What is lead? Lead also another type of taxonomical aid. Each and every statement of the key is known as lead. Each and every statement of the key is known as lead. It is also a type of taxonomical aid. Clear? Next, flora and fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animals. Study of plants based on their similarities, dissimilarities and their habitats is known as flora. Fauna means study of animals based on their localities, habitats and habits is known as fauna. Even flora and fauna also the best examples of taxonomical aids for the identification of plants and animals respectively. Similarly, monographs, catalogs also are there. So monograph is another type of taxonomical aid which helps in identification of plants or animals based on their morphological characters, okay, and their habitats. And the last one is catalog. Catalog before that, monograph contain one complete information about one particular organism. Mono means single. Monograph, that means monograph contain one complete information about a plant or animal. Clear? Next, catalog. Catalog contain large number of pictures, photos and a complete information about a particular organism like plants or animals called catalog. These are all various types of taxonomical aids. I am expecting at least 1 or 2 questions from taxonomical aids. Okay, these are the main points to be covered from the living world. This chapter completed. I will discuss next chapter, second chapter, biological classification. Clear? Second chapter, biological classification. Biological classification, very important chapter. It has more weightage for NEET objective exam, similarly KSET exam. Every year at least minimum 2 questions, maximum 3 questions giving from this chapter. Understood now? Okay. I try to say almost main points which are important for NEET objective orientation. Clear? First, classification. A famous scientist Aristotle, who is also known as father of biology and father of zoology. Aristotle first proposed scientific classification method. Scientific classification method. Aristotle. Aristotle first proposed scientific classification method. He classified all animals into two categories: red-blooded animals other than red-blooded animals. Okay, that means Anaima and Anaima. Anaima means invertebrates. Anaima means vertebrates. Invertebrate means lower living animals. Vertebrates means higher living animals. Invertebrates include from protozoans to echinodermata. Protozoa, Porifera, Cylindrata, Platyhelminthes, Nemathelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, and Echinodermata. Whereas vertebrates include higher living animals such as fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. All are higher living organisms. Clear? Similarly, Aristotle classified plants into two categories based on flower character: flowering plants, non-flowering plants. Okay, flowering plants, example angiosperms. Except angiosperms, rest of the all are non-flowering plants. Example algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, and gymnosperms. These are all non-flowering plants. While angiosperms are flowering plants, higher living plants, high category plants. That is about Aristotle classification. And second scientist Linnaeus. Two kingdom. Another scientist Linnaeus proposed two kingdom classification: Plantae and Animalia. Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Plantae include all types of plants: lower living plants, higher living plants, unicellular plants, multicellular plants. Include all cell wall containing organisms like fungus, bacteria, etc. And Kingdom Animalia include only animals. That means lower living animals, higher living animals, invertebrates, vertebrates, etc. But there are some demerits in Linnaeus classification. What are demerits means? He did not classify what are unicellular organisms and which are multicellular organisms. What are eukaryotes and which are prokaryotes. This type of classification not done by Linnaeus. Hence, there are some demerits in Linnaeus classification. Later, another scientist, Ernest Haeckel proposed three kingdom classification. What are three kingdoms? Protista, Plantae, Animalia. Two kingdom: Plantae and Animalia. And three kingdom: Protista, Plantae, and Animalia, etc. The term Protista was first used by Ernest Haeckel. Important. Ernest Haeckel. Kingdom Protista include all unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Okay, that means plant cells, animal cells, all unicellular eukaryotic organisms. That's all. Not prokaryotic, only eukaryotic organisms. Plantae include all types of plants. Animalia include all types of animals. And fourth one, Copeland proposed four kingdom classification, namely Monera, Protista, Plantae, Animalia. Plantae and Animalia. Who first used the term Munira means co-plant. He was proposed 4 kingdom classification: Munira, Pratista, Plantae, Animalia. Kingdom Munira include all prokaryotic organisms, all prokaryotes like Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Mycoplasma, Actinomycetes, blue-green algae. Blue-green algae include Cyanobacteria, Nostoc, Anabaena, Oscillatoria, etc. Clear? Protista same, all unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Plantae, Animalia, you know very well. Another scientist, R.H. Whittaker, important, very important. R.H. Whittaker proposed 5 kingdom classification. 5 kingdom classification. That is very important. First, Munira, Protista, fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Clear? Munira, Protista, important. R.H. Whittaker's classification was widely accepted. He was proposed 5 kingdom classification. Throughout worldwide, all biologists widely accepted Whittaker's classification. Even nowadays, we are following Whittaker's classification only. Clear? Munira, Protista, fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Who first classified fungi means Whittaker. Who first classified Protista means Ernest Haeckel. And who first classified Munira means Copeland. These types of questions frequently asking from classification part. Out of 5 kingdoms, how many are eukaryotes and how many are prokaryotes? Out of 5, Munira is prokaryote. Except Munira, rest of the all members are eukaryotic organisms such as Protista, fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Out of 5 kingdoms, how many kingdoms include autotrophs? Autotrophs example, Protista and Plantae. Even Munira also. Some members of Munira, some members of Protista, and some members of Plantae include autotrophs. Clear? Munira example, blue-green algae, Nostoc, Anabaena, Oscillatoria, Cyanobacteria, this and all autotrophs. They belongs to kingdom Munira. And Protista, autotrophs example, Chlamydomonas, Euglena, Diatoms, Desmids, etc. You know well, kingdom Plantae include all autotrophs. That means out of 5 kingdoms, how many kingdoms include autotrophs? Answer, 3 kingdoms. What are 3 kingdoms? Munira, Protista, and Plantae. That's all. But fungi and Animalia are heterotrophs. Clear? Next to Carl Woese et al. Carl Woese et al. Another scientist. He proposed 6 kingdom classification. Another scientist. What are 6 kingdoms means? Kingdom Munira again classified into 2 parts. Archaea and bacteria. Archaea and bacteria. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all. According to Carl Woese et al. Classification, kingdom Munira again subdivided into 2 parts: Archaea and bacteria. Archaea means Archaebacteria. Bacteria means Eubacteria. That means true bacteria. Next, Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animalia. This is all same, no change. That is about Carl Woese et al. Classification. Remember all scientist names and their classification types. Important for NEET objective exam. Clear? Then Carl Woese et al. Clustered all 6 kingdoms into 3 domains. Archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. That's all. That three are known as three domains. Three domains. Three domains. Example: archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. That's all. Once I repeat, Carl Woese et al. Later clustered, means grouped all six kingdoms into three domains. Domain also one of the taxonomical hierarchy, taxonomical category. It is bigger than kingdom. Okay, archaea, bacteria, eukarya. That's all. Archaea means archaebacteria members. Bacteria means eubacteria members like coccus bacteria, vibrio bacteria, spirillum bacteria, etc. Eukarya means all eukaryotes that include protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia. That's all. Clear? So this topic is important for NEET object exam. So remember scientist name, their classification methods. I will discuss Munira, Kingdom Munira. Kingdom Munira. Kingdom Munira include all unicellular or multicellular prokaryotes. Multicellular prokaryotes example cyanobacteria. That means blue-green algae members are multicellular. Yes or no? Nostoc, Anabaena, Oscillatoria, cyanobacteria, these are all multicellular prokaryotes. Except this, rest of the all are unicellular prokaryotes like archaebacteria, eubacteria, mycoplasma, actinomycetes. These are all unicellular prokaryotic organisms. First one, archaebacteria. Archaebacteria mostly grow in adverse conditions, and their cell wall is made up of pseudomurine, important. Again, archaebacteria can be classified into three categories based on their habitats, like methanogens, halophiles, and thermophiles. Methanogens, halophiles, and thermoacidophiles. Methanogens example, methanobium bacteria, methanogen bacteria. Methanobium, ruminatum. Halophiles mostly grow in salt water. Thermophiles grow in high temperature areas. So look here, methanogens mostly living in marshy areas such as mangrove areas, rice field, plus ruminant stomach. Ruminants means cattle. Ruminant stomach has 4 chambers: rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. Out of 4 chambers, the biggest chamber is rumen. Rumen contain methanogen bacteria, that is called Methanobium ruminatum. Rumen. Link is there, na? So Methanobium ruminatum bacteria living in ruminants stomach, particularly in rumen. It secretes an enzyme, namely cellulase enzyme. Cellulase enzyme digests cellulose. Methanobium bacteria also play a crucial role in production of biogas. Biogas is a mixture of several gases such as methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen, and traces of hydrogen, oxygen, etc. Biogas, also called gobar gas. Biogas widely used for cooking food, lighting, heating, etc. Clear? Next, halophiles. Halo means salt water. Some microbes grow in salt water like oceans and seas, that are called halophiles. Next, thermophiles. They mostly grow in high temperature areas like hot vents, springs, volcanoes, lavas. Okay, these are the areas where they grow in naturally. They tolerate high temperature conditions, nearly more than 90 degrees Celsius temperature. Best example, Thermus aquaticus bacteria. Thermus aquaticus bacteria that grow in hot areas. Clear? That is about Archaebacteria. So Archaebacteria members mostly grow in adverse conditions, dangerous conditions, because their uh, cell wall is mainly made up of pseudomurine. Pseudomurine. Next, Eubacteria. Eubacteria. It includes various types. Coccus bacteria, Vibrio bacteria, Spirillum bacteria, and Bacillus bacteria. Look here, Eubacteria include U means true bacteria. Eubacteria include various types. Coccus bacteria. Coccus means spherical shape, round shape. Vibrio, comma shape. Spirillum, spring shape. Bacillus, rod shape. These are the 4 different types of bacteria. Mostly grow in almost all weather conditions, all local weather conditions. Okay. Therefore, bacteria also called universal microorganism. Ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means universal microorganism. Okay. They cause several types of diseases. Clear? Next, bacteria again are of 2 kinds, because some bacteria are autotrophs, some are heterotrophs. Okay. Autotrophs to heterotrophs. Autotrophs prepare their own food by themselves, while heterotrophs quite opposite, reverse. Autotrophs again are of 2 kinds: photoautotrophic bacteria, chemoautotrophic bacteria. This classification you once read in your material, because this much deep information not there in NCERT. Clear? Next, that is about bacteria. Next, once go to structure of bacteria. Okay, a typical structure of bacteria. Study carefully what is structure of bacteria. What are the layers present in bacteria? Outer layer, mucous layer. Below mucous layer, cell wall. Below cell wall, cell membrane. 3 layers are there. Okay. Outer layer, mucous layer. Middle layer, cell wall. Inner layer, cell membrane. Okay. First layer, second layer, third layer. You know very well what is the structure of bacteria. It is plasmid. Plasmid. Rough diagram, structure of bacteria. So what are three layers present in bacteria? Sequence important, and structure of bacteria, characteristic features of bacteria, important for NEET objective exam. Clear? Next, bacteria again are of 2 kinds: gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Gram positive bacteria react with staining procedure, because that contain chemical compound. Okay, teichoic acid. So due to presence of teichoic acid in cell wall, gram positive bacteria respond towards staining procedure, and gram negative bacteria means which did not respond for staining procedure, called gram negative bacteria. Teichoic acid. Teichoic acid. Okay. Due to presence of teichoic acid in gram negative bacteria, they won't respond for staining procedure. A famous scientist, Christian Graham first classified all bacteria into 2 categories: gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Okay, that is about the bacteria, their classification and all. Next, mycoplasma. Mycoplasma, important. Mycoplasma, it is one of the unicellular prokaryotic organism. Cell wall absent, very important. Cell wall absent, but cell membrane is present. It causes diseases in both plants and animals. Both plants and animals. You can read general characteristic features of mycoplasma. That's all. That's enough. Next to actinomycetes. Actinomycetes. Also called ray fungi. Also called ray fungi. Actinomycetes members also called ray fungi because they resembles fungal-like structure, fungal-like hyphae, filamentous-like structure, hyphae-like structure observed in actinomycetes members. Okay, and actinomycetes members mostly cause diseases. Okay, simple example, tuberculosis bacteria, Mycobacterium leprae. Okay, Salmonella typhimurium. These types of bacteria mostly belongs to actinomycetes members. They cause diseases among human beings. Clear? Next to BGA. BGA stands for blue-green algae. Blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria, nostoc, Anabaena, Oscillatoria, etc. These are all blue-green algae members. I am expecting at least one question compulsorily from blue-green algae. We read general features of blue-green algae and remember examples. Nostoc diagram given in NCERT. Diagram important. Nostoc diagram. What are the parts of nostoc? What is the structure of nostoc? What is the importance of nostoc? That is important. Okay. All blue-green algae members play a crucial role in fixation of atmospheric nitrogen in soil in the form of nitrates, nitrites or ammonia. In the form of nitrates, or ammonia. Sometimes they may ask questions based on diagrammatic representation. So study carefully diagram also. Observe what is the shape of the diagram, what are the parts in diagram, what is the importance of diagram, what is the name of the diagram. These are all important for NEET objective exam. Clear? Next, so the total part kingdom is completed. One more point, main point, Trichodesmium erythraeum. Trichodesmium erythraeum. It's one of the cyanobacteria member, very important for NEET objective exam. It impart red color to the surrounding water. So surrounding water, it looks like red in color due to presence of Trichodesmium erythraeum. It is one of the blue-green algae members. Okay, right? Red Sea, red in color. Don't confuse. Red Sea different, red tide different. Red Sea is red in color due to presence of Trichodesmium erythraeum, a type of blue-green algae. Whereas red tide different. Gonialax. Okay. So Gonialax mostly living in Mediterranean Sea. That forms red tides. My suggestion, you don't confuse between Red Sea and red tide. Clear? This is about Kingdom Monera. Next, Pratista. Kingdom Pratista include three types of organisms: photosynthetic protistans, consumer decomposer protistans, and protozoans. Okay, first one photosynthetic protistans, second one consumer decomposer protistans, and third one protozoans. For writing all these points on board, no time. Okay, this is short term. Hope you understood. First one, photosynthetic protistants. Example, chrysophytes. Chrysophytes and dinoflagellates, euglenoids, euglenoids, euglenoids. Chrysophytes example, diatoms, desmids, diatoms and desmids. Dinoflagellates example, gonialax, gonialax, important. Diatoms and desmids also very important. Euglenoids example, euglena. Okay, so the first type of category in Protista is photosynthetic protistants. It includes three types: chrysophytes, dinoflagellates and euglenoids. Chrysophytes example, diatoms, desmids. Diatoms are green algae, desmids are golden algae. Golden algae. Diatoms mostly grow in seas and oceans. Diatoms also called patches of seas. Patches of seas. Primary predators of seas. Clear? Diatoms on the outer side covered with two cup-like, two soapbox type cups called epitheca, hypotheca. Epitheca means upper layer, hypotheca means lower layer. So these two shells close with each other like soapbox. Soapbox. That structure protect diatoms. After death of the diatoms, dead shells, because their shell is made up of silica, very important. Shell is made up of silica. Cell wall material is silica, very very important. Fix in mind, don't forget. So due to deposition of silica, shells deposit at the bottom of the seas and oceans, that forms small hills called Kesselgar or diatomaceous earth. Kesselgar also called diatomaceous earth. So diatomaceous earth widely using in several commercial purposes, for filtration of fuels, syrups, filtration of oils. It is also widely using in medicines, and diatomaceous earth also used as rubbing material due to its rough surface. So it has more economic importance for human welfare. And desmids also called golden algae. They look like gold color. Read rest of the features of diatoms and desmids. Next one, dinoflagellates. Dinoflagellates also called whirling whips. Whirling whips. They have a pair of flagella. Due to presence of flagella, they rotate themselves like a spin. They create spinning movement, spinning effect. Hence, dinoflagellates also called whirling whips. Whirling whips. Best example, gonialax. Gonialax diagram also given in NCERT. Go through diagram. Gonialax on the outer side covered with two plates, two interlocked plates. Plates are made up of cellulose called cellulosic plates. Cellulosic plates. Remember, in diatoms, shell is made up of silica, whereas in gonialax, shell wall, that means shell is made up of cellulose. Don't confuse. Important. Gonialax contain two unequal flagella. One is horizontal flagella, other one is vertical flagella, called unequal flagella. Unequal flagella origin from furrow region. Okay. Gonialax, it impart red color to the surrounding immediate water. It forms red tides. Important neat objective question. Hope you understood. Clear. Next, euglenoids. Before that, some other examples of dinoflagellates: Noctiluca and Serratium. Noctiluca and Serratium, also some other examples of dinoflagellates. Clear. Next, euglenoids. From class 8th, 9th and 10th onwards, you might have studied what is euglena, what is the shape of the euglena, what are the parts of euglena, what is the importance of euglena, you know very well. Clear? Once you go through diagrammatic representation of euglena, read paragraph lines. Clear? Euglena has pair of flagella, unequal flagella. One is long flagella, other one is short flagella. In euglena, cell wall absent. Okay, cell membrane also absent. Instead that pellicle is present, pellicle layer. Pellicle is completely made up of protein, no lipids, only protein. Clear? And euglena best example for mixotropic nutrition. Mixotropic means sometimes euglena acts as plant, sometimes acts as animal, called mixotropic nutrition. In presence of sunlight, euglena pick up energy from sunlight and perform photosynthesis. Now it acts as autotroph. When deprived of sunlight, means in absence of sunlight, euglena acts as heterotroph. They depend on other small creatures for feeding. Hence, the best example for mixotroph nutrition is euglena. That's all. Okay. Next to consumer decomposer protistants. Best example, slime molds. Slime molds. Consumer decomposer protistants example, slime molds. Slime molds mostly grow towards dead and decay plant twigs. They grow towards dead and decay plant twig. Plant twig in the sense dead plant pods, branches. When the conditions are favorable, they form plasmodium. When the during favorable. When the conditions are unfavorable, plasmodium convert into fruiting body. During unfavorable. This is the structure of fruiting body. Fruiting body produce spores exogenously. Spores. Clear? Once repeat briefly. Consumer decomposer protistants example, slime molds. Slime molds mostly grow towards dead and decaying plant twigs, and they show an aggregation, means a quick growth during favorable conditions. That quick aggregation is called plasmodium. When the conditions are unfavorable, plasmodium convert into fruiting body. This is the structure of fruiting body. It looks like balloon shape. Fruiting body produce spores exogenously. After maturation, spores detach from each other and disperse into surroundings, transfer to, that means migrate to other areas through air current or water current, settle on the substratum. When the conditions are favorable, germinate and develop into new slime mold. That is about slime molds. Clear? Next one. Protozoans. Protozoans are of four kinds. Amoeboid protozoans, ciliated protozoans, flagellated protozoans, and sporozoans. Four types are very important. So protozoans can be classified into four categories based on their morphological character, habitats, and their type of nutrition and all. Amoeboid protozoans, ciliated, flagellated, and sporozoans. Amoeboid protozoans example, amoeba and entamoeba histolytica. Read their general characteristic features. Next, ciliated protozoans example, paramecium. You know very well what is the structure of paramecium. what are the parts of paramecium and how paramecium pick up food and water. Along with water, food particles also stirred into gullet. Okay, and gullet to food vacuoles. Gullet to food vacuoles. Then food vacuole digest food material. Paramecium also called slipper animalcule. Paramecium has two types of vacuoles, contractile vacuoles. Okay, anterior contractile vacuole and posterior contractile vacuole. Paramecium also contains two types of nucleus, a macronucleus, micronucleus. Clear? Read the structure of paramecium and read general features of paramecium, etc. Next, flagellated protozoans. Example, Trypanosoma gambiense. Trypanosoma gambiense, dangerous parasite, and it has a long flagella. Long flagella. Okay, Trypanosoma gambiense. Read general features of Trypanosoma gambiense. The topic already covered in zoology also. Clear? Then sporozoans. Example, Plasmodium, dangerous malarial parasite. Are of four kinds: Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium falciparum, and Plasmodium malariae. Out of which the dangerous parasite is Plasmodium falciparum that cause malaria fever. Malaria fever. And malaria fever symptoms also you know very well. Plasmodium has two types of life cycles, asexual cycle and sexual cycle. Plasmodium parasite complete their asexual reproduction in human RBC and liver cells. RBC and liver cells means hepatocytes. Whereas it complete its sexual reproduction in female Anopheles mosquito stomach. In female Anopheles mosquito stomach. That is about sporozoans. Example, Plasmodium, dangerous parasite. That is about the total kingdom Protista. Next to fungi. Kingdom fungi. Kingdom fungi, another important eukaryotes. The study of fungi is called mycology. Mycology. Okay. Fungi also a type of universal microorganism like bacteria because they grow everywhere. Refrigerators, on soil, on wet soil, plants, animals, air, everywhere. So like bacteria, fungus also able to exist their life in all weather conditions. Hence, fungus also called universal microorganism or ubiquitous. Study of fungi is called mycology. Next, fungus are of two kinds, unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular fungi example yeast. Yeast scientific name Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Yeast widely using in bakery industries and beverage industries. Without yeast we cannot produce any bakery items and any beverage items. Beverages means alcoholic products, whiskey, brandy, rum, Romanov, etc. Clear? Next, multicellular fungi are of various kinds. Example, Agaricus, Penicillium, Aspergillus, Clostridium, Coletotrichum. Many examples are there. Based on their morphological characters and type of reproduction, kingdom fungi can be classified into four classes, namely Phycomystis, Ascomystis, Basidiomystis, and Deuteromystis. Four classes very important. Don't forget. Read all four classes, general characters along with examples. Phycomystis, general characters, examples. In Phycomystis, the total filament is aseptate. Filament means long, narrow, thread-like structure is called filament. Filament is aseptate. Aseptate means a filament without cross line called aseptate. But rest of the three are septate. Like this. Filament with cross line called septate. Septa means division, divider. Filament without cross line called aseptate. Hence, phycomestis members are aseptate, rest of the three members are septate. Next, reproduction. In fungi, reproduction includes three steps: plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. What is plasmogamy? Fusion of cytoplasm is called plasmogamy. During reproduction, two opposite fungal hyphae move towards each other and cell wall rupture and exchange of cytoplasm takes place. Thereby fusion of cytoplasm takes place. Fusion of cytoplasm is called plasmogamy. Next, karyogamy means fusion of nuclei. Karya means nucleus. Gamy means fusion. Karyogamy means fusion of nuclei. Plasmogamy followed by karyogamy. Then karyogamy result in zygote. Zygote undergo meiosis. Through meiosis, zygote produce haploid spores. Then haploid spores disperse into surroundings, settle on the substratum. When the conditions are favorable, germinate and gives rise new mycelium. Remember, three steps, very important, don't confuse. Plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. Clear? Next, in case of phycomestis, plasmogamy immediately followed by karyogamy. But in case of ascomestis and basidiomestis, plasmogamy not immediately followed by karyogamy. In such conditions, cell with two nuclei. Each cell has two nuclei. N plus N condition. Called dikarya. Dikarya phase. A single cell with the two nuclei. Suppose it is filament. It contains number of cells. Okay. A single cell with the two nuclei. A single cell with the two nuclei called a dikarya phase. But these two nuclei free from each other without fusion up to some time period called N plus N condition. N plus N condition means without fusion. But after some time period, when the conditions are favorable, these two nuclei join, fuse with each other. Therefore, see like this. The two nuclei join with each other that form diploid stage, TN stage. N plus N means dikarya phase. 2N means diploid stage. Don't confuse. Clear? So dikarya phase is quite common in all ascomestis members and basidiomestis members. One important neat objective question. Clear? Next, phycomestis example: Picor, Rhizopus, Albigo, etc. Ascomestis example: Penicillium, Aspergillus, yeast, etc. And basidiomestis example: Agaricus, Eustylago, Puccinia, etc. And Ditromestis example: Colletotrichum fulgatum, Trichoderma, etc. Clear? So remember all four classes, their general characters along with examples. I am expecting at least 1 or 2 questions from fungus classification. Hope you understood. So fungus has economically more importance, economic value. Clear? Right. That is about kingdom fungi. Common names. Phycomestis also called algal fungi. I am telling about common names. Sometimes question paper setter prepare questions based on their common names. Phycomestis algal fungi. Ascomestis sac fungi. Basidiomestis bracket fungi or club fungi. Ditromestis also called imperfect fungi. These are the another common names of members. Clear? Remember scientific name and common name, both important. Clear? Next concept: Plantae. Kingdom Plantae and Animalia. So in this chapter, Kingdom Plantae and Animalia include just 2 small paragraphs matter. You read just NCERT lines, enough. So kingdom plant include all unicellular and multicellular plants. Alternation of generations common in plants. Haplontic life cycle, diplontic life cycle, haplodiplontic life cycle. There are 3 types of life cycles. Okay, haplontic life cycle common in majority of algae, and haplodiplontic life cycle common in bryophytes and pteridophytes, whereas diplontic life cycle common in gymnosperms and angiosperms. Clear? And some plants are insectivorous plants and some are parasitic plants. Insectivorous plants example Drosera, Dionaea, Nepenthes means pitcher plant, etc. And parasitic plants example Cuscuta reflexa. Except these plants, rest of all plants are autotrophs. That is about kingdom Plantae. We will discuss in detail about kingdom Plantae in coming chapter, that is plant kingdom. Here discussion no need. Clear? Next, kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia include general features, common characters. You read NCERT book, that small 2 paragraph lines, that is enough. The most common type of nutrition in Animalia is holozoic nutrition. Clear? And the type of reproduction is mostly sexual mode of reproduction, very well developed in kingdom Animalia. It include unicellular and multicellular animals. That's all. Now, next topic continuation. Virus, viroids and prions. Next, lichens. 4 topics are very important: viruses, viroids, prions and lichens. What is virus? Virus means venom or poison. Study of virus is called virology. The NCERT book, some scientist names clearly mentioned. Read paragraph lines. Ivanovsky, an example, Ivanovsky, Bergeringia, W.M. Stanley. The scientist names, their inventions, discoveries, very important. Read the paragraph lines. Okay. Next, virus. It is a type of that means acellular organism. Once a virus enter host, it become active, but outer side of the host virus become inactive. It looks like crystal form. So no scientist given any place for viruses, viroids and prions in their classification, because all viruses are acellular organisms, no cell structure. If once enter host, it become active and actively replicate inside the host. That's all. Okay. It has a protein coat and genetic material, either DNA or RNA. Clear? 2 diagrams are there: TMV virus, tobacco mosaic virus, and bacteriophage virus. These 2 diagrams important. Roughly study diagrams and read paragraph lines. Importance of tobacco mosaic virus. What is the importance of bacteriophage, etc. Clear? Next, viroids. Viroids are another type of microscopic infectious agents. Which are smaller than viruses. Okay. And viroids mostly cause diseases on plants. Best example, potato spindle tuber disease. An example. Of course, many examples are there. I am telling about NCERT examples. Clear? In viroids, genetic material DNA or RNA, only one is present. Particularly RNA is present. ssRNA is present, but around RNA protein coat is absent. Next, prions. Another type of microscopic infectious agents that are smaller than viruses and viroids. One main point: who first discovered viroid means A.O. Diner first discovered viroids. Clear? And prions, another type of microscopic infectious agents that are smaller than viruses and prions. Prions cause diseases in animals. Example, mad cow disease, and scrapie disease. Mad cow disease common in cattle like cow, buffalo, bull, ox, etc. Uh, one analogous characteristic disease also occur in human beings, that is called CJD. CJD stands for Crutchfield-Jakob disease. Crutchfield-Jakob disease. It is common in human beings. A person who take improperly cooked, that means improperly cooked meat, those persons usually affected by CJD, called Crutchfield-Jakob disease. It is a type of analog of mad cow disease. Mad cow disease occurs in animals, cattle, whereas CJD occur in human beings. That's all. So before going to eat any non-veg items, proper cooking is compulsory. Clear? Next, mad cow disease also called bovine encephalopathy. Okay, that is also called BSE, bovine encephalopathy. Next to lichens. Last one is lichens. Lichens are the best examples of symbionts. Symbiosis. Lichens include phycobiont and mycobiont. Phycobiont means algae. Mycobiont means fungi. Though these two are differ from each other but living together and help each other, called symbiosis or mutualism. Lichens are the best pollution indicators. They never grow in sulfur pollution areas, particularly air pollution, that means sulfur pollution. Okay, they mostly grow on barren rocks, empty areas. They release a chemical called carbonic acid. By releasing carbonic acid, they decompose rocks. Hence, big rocks break down into simple soil particles. But it is a very slower process, slowly occur. Hence, lichens are the pioneer plants. Pioneer plants means first formed plants in xerarch succession. Clear? Study of algae is called phycology. Study of fungi is called mycology. The combination of phycobiont and mycobiont combined to call lichens. Lichens are the best examples of symbionts. Okay, they are the best pollution indicators. They never grow in pollution areas, particularly air pollution such as sulfur dioxide pollution. I covered here almost all main points that are important for NEET objective exam. This chapter also completed. Today we have discussed total 2 chapters, the living world and biological classification. Thank you very much. Watch this video properly. After completion of watching video, immediately read the same topic in NCERT. You touch NCERT, don't touch other materials. Read NCERT lines thoroughly, then practice assignments. Obviously, you will get better score. Thank you very much. Bye, see you, and prepare well.